Gaming with Boomers. Yeah. Welcome back, Boomer family, to another Not Gaming with Boomers. Hopefully, as you know, we've been doing a series on our feral kitties and rescue kitties, stray kitties. This is an unplanned video because we need your prayers for one of our kitties. Our cat Jack is missing. All of our kitties are indoor kitties. We do not let them out for many reasons. They decimate the bird population, they get and spread diseases, they have terrible things happen to them, and especially with as many as we have, we can keep them safe and healthy indoors. So that's what we do. No judgment on people who let their cats out at all. But we don't let ours out, so missing a cat is not something that happens. So what happened is our cat Jack, first of all, let me introduce you to Jack real quick. Jack was mentioned in one of the previous videos. He is our stray, not feral, not wild, but stray. He had been owned by someone and abandoned. We got him about 8 years ago or so. And we found him in a Wendy's parking lot around Christmas time. This Wendy's is next to I-75, which is an interstate going from Florida up north and back. Ouch, I just hit my hand on the table, sorry. And this Wendy's is right off an exit. And it's on Ken's commute to and from work, and for about a week he had seen Jack in the Wendy's parking lot, running around dodging traffic, scrounging for food, and so we knew he wasn't owned. He didn't belong somewhere in the neighborhood. So after about a week, on the weekend, Ken and I went to that parking lot, and while Ken was elsewhere, I opened up the van door and called for Jack. He came running across the parking lot, right into the van and into one of the seats. And I gave him some chicken, and he was happy as a clam, and we took him home, and he became part of our family ever since. He's just the sweetest kitty, tuxedo tabby, so all black with sort of the white front that looks like a shirt and white whiskers. And he has a baby kitten Meow. He's a big old tomcat. Looks like he could really mess with you if he wanted to, but he has this little tiny mew, kind of little baby kitten Mew, and is just gentle and sweet and loving and missing at the moment. So let me tell you what happened. About 4 nights ago, he's a night owl, and about 11 o'clock at night he was making something in the oven for his dinner, and it burned, and the kitchen was filling with smoke. And the fire alarms in our house are absolutely piercing. They're horrendous, and they're hardwired in, so you can't pop the batteries out and stop it. So what we've had to do over the years is if there's smoke coming out of anything, and we first make sure there's no flame. You open the windows and doors and flap them and flap a towel and just sort of keep the smoke dissipated enough so that every fire alarm in the house doesn't scream and traumatize the cats, because they absolutely are traumatized for a week when that happens. So Austin was opening the doors and flapping them in the windows and towels and all of this other, dissipating the smoke. And it worked. The alarms didn't go off. And so when he was done, he went upstairs to bed. And the next morning, Ken got up super early. He gets up at 4:35 o'clock in the morning, and he did his business downstairs to get ready. And as he was coming back upstairs to get dressed for work, he looked over his shoulder and saw that the front door was open about a foot. So he ran down, and as he was grabbing the door to look, he saw Jack running down the front steps outside and around the corner of the house. So he ran after Jack, closed up the door, ran after Jack. In the meantime, Jack's presence set off the dog next door, who was tied up next door. It's a big old Rottweiler, and with a scary bark, and we think that that startled Jack enough so that he took off to the back of our yard. Has a tree line, and we think he took off in the tree line. And Ken looked for him, and when we all found out, we all looked for him, nothing. We were hoping he would still be in the yard or in the area, nothing. We've been looking for him for days, at all times of day and night, nothing. We also don't see a kitty carcass, so that's good, but there's no sign of him. And there is a precedent for this. About a year or two after we brought Jack home, he got out one time, and he took off like he did this time. We have one or two cats who get real curious, and if you leave the door open long enough, going in and out, they will slip out, like a snake, and shoo, out they go. But they generally stay hiding under the bushes in the front yard or something. They don't go far. Many of them have never seen outside before. They were born in the house. And so they come running out, and they're like, "This is the biggest room ever," and they just hide under the bushes until you coax them out. But Jack took off that first time a few years ago, and he was gone for 3 days. And then he finally came back, and it was summer, and summer in Georgia is just brutal. And he had lost a lot of weight. He clearly hadn't found any clean water. He was super dehydrated and really loopy. It's like he didn't know us. And so we were finally able to catch him in the front yard and bring him in and get him hydrated and cooled down. And then he sort of came to, as it were, and knew who we were, and purr, happy. So we were hoping that this would be the same case. He would wander around for a bit and then come back, and we would find him. But it's been 4 or 5 days now, and no sign of him anywhere. And we have a small development spread over a large area, and a lot of wooded areas, and so a lot of coyotes, some bears. It's not looking good. He hasn't been turned in anywhere. But generally speaking, people aren't very good to cats here. They're not popular, and so I don't know that anyone would approach him or call animal control or anything. They probably would just ignore him. So we need your prayers, is the point of this. We would like, if you're a praying sort of person, or you're just an animal lover in general, if you could just put some, if not a prayer, positive thoughts out there, positive energy for bringing our Jack home. We had one other cat that would do this every once in a while, and her name is Norska, and she was the one that had been found inside the Northern Tool store that Michael worked at, and we caught her and brought her home, and she was tame as well. And she and Jack both sort of acted like they loved us and they were happy to have a family, but that we weren't their real family. And that's one thing. I'll get into the behavior of cats that we know very, very well after all these decades and so many. But cats do imprint on families, and we're convinced with Jack and Norska that they never got over whatever family they had been a part of. That, they loved us and they were grateful, but given half a chance, they go back to their family, and that, like, they were looking for them. So it could be that when Jack got out, he was trying to get back to where he thought he belonged, to his real family. But he's missing, and we're sad. And if you have any, if you're willing, please send up some prayers for Jack to keep him safe. If not, bring him home. And if that doesn't happen, at least keep him safe. And we would very, very much appreciate that. We believe in the power of prayer and positive thinking and love of animals. So please pray for our Jack. And thank you for being part of our Boomer family. And again, please like and subscribe. But more importantly, please share yourself with us and let us know who our family is, and about your babies, whatever they are, and human, animal, imaginary. I have some great imaginary babies. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for being part of our Boomer family. We love you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye.